Tricia, you had a couple questions. Which one do you
Yes.
want to go with first? The analytics one or the
Yeah, the
or
Google
the
Analytics.
dashboard?
Did you understand what was happening?
I hadn't really looked at it yet.
Okay.
Let's
So this is a week since I've sent this email, but I'll look over this. So what I was doing,
yeah.
I was looking through my client site and checking the GA4
Right.
to make sure everything was working good.
Okay.
And what I'm doing is saying, okay, this is GA4 and then this is UA, Universal Analytics. And they weren't matching. And so basically, so like, for example, I think,
oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, they're not matching. And I'm like, well, why? And it was more than one client.
So the first question is, are you absolutely sure you're measuring the same days?
Yes, I did. Here at the bottom says last 7 days, because that was a question I had. So I left.
But it doesn't say which 7 days.
Last 7 would be the 7 before.
Okay.
I mean, like I was doing it all at the, like sitting there, screenshot, go to the next one.
Okay, so that says May 20th. Okay, so this is May 20th as well. Okay, So we're comparing the same time period.
Mm-hmm.
What's this one? Oh, this is right now. Okay.
And yeah, so, and then it was saying like, so right now, then go back to the right now. It says 2. It says it, and so I'm Marietta, and so what's that?
Well, it's this is you and Marietta.
But it
someone
was
else
like
happened to be visited at the same time.
I kept flip-flopping back and forth, and the UA kept only saying 1.
So I've noticed in GA4 there's a delay.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be too worried. So first of all, I wouldn't be too worried about the delay on real time. Like I've noticed doing real time that sometimes a little bit of delay. It's a great way to kind of troubleshoot, but can't be definitive. Second of all, if we're assuming same time period, May 20th through the 26th, May 20th through the 26th. So this says 94 users, and that says 79 users.
Yeah.
So what I would check, just to rule out some things, are making sure the code is on every page of the website without exception.
So I did this. I'm not sure how I'll do, because I may have used Google Tag Manager, but I'm not sure. I'll have to check.
So then you need to make sure Tag Manager is on every page without exception.
Check. Okay.
Right, because that could be. So now right now I'm recommending WordPress websites use the Sitekit plugin.
Yes.
To add Tag Manager to the website.
And then
log in the Tag Manager separate and add your analytics through Tag Manager.
Yes.
Now, this assumes a couple things. Number one, that your WordPress website's built right. Because I suspect the Sitekit plugin relies upon the header file being loaded correctly on every page. And a lazy developer might take a shortcut and might forget to put it on a page or two.
So would possibly, could I check that with Google Tag Assistant, go into the pages?
Yes, that would be one way to do it. You have to go to every single page.
Mm-hmm.
You could also, and this transitions to your other question, look in the dashboard for referrals from your own website. So if you go into a website and you see that you are getting referral traffic from your own website, something may be wrong. Something may be fine, but something may be wrong. And that's why in the dashboard, the weekly dashboard, one of the things to always look at is, are you getting referral traffic from your own website?
Okay.
So if you're getting referral traffic from your own website, it could be that someone has spent more than 30 minutes on a web page and then clicks to another web page. Because remember from our Google Analytics class, the session starts over at 30 minutes.
30
so
minutes,
that
yes.
means, okay, you had such compelling content on your website that I read it in depth, sat there and pontificated about it for a while. Maybe I called your phone number and then I clicked to another website or web page on your site. That would be a new session.
Mm-hmm.
So that could reflect as referral traffic from your own website. However, if you're always getting referral traffic from your homepage, it might be that there's a problem with your Google Analytics code on your homepage.
Okay.
In that it's not executing it, it's not on the page, there's a script conflict of some sort, and that means something's wrong, and therefore it is not being tracked in Google Analytics. This is about a 10 or so % difference. So I'd say that's outside the standard deviation. I would start to look at why one is not like the other.
Okay.
But you also have to remember that there is a delay in these reports from Google Analytics. So whereas real-time data comes as real-time as they can make it, and there's sometimes some weird delays, these reports that we're looking at right now could be a day or so behind. So one of the things I might do is go to like the acquisition report and put a time a week ago and compare a week ago in one and a week ago in another, because Google Analytics takes 1 or 2 days before it catches up. So if you're tracking yesterday's data in Google Analytics, you could be off.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you put it a week back and you compare a week ago with a week ago, and hey, there's always going to be some weirdness. Like if you're off 5%, okay, I can live with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you're off 10%, like you are here, I start to suspect something weird might be going on.
Okay.
And then you might be underreporting. In this case, it would look like you're underreporting in GA4.
Mm-hmm.
So that, we'd have to investigate. How are we adding GA4 to the site? If we're doing Tag Manager, is Tag Manager on every page of the site?
Yeah.
Now, it could be that there's something just different about how Google GA4 reports versus Universal. So for instance, there might be better bot protection in GA4 than in Universal. Mm-hmm. And so that might be what you're seeing.
Okay. But, what is that new thing coming out? GLB, something like 4 letters, and it's something about blocking certain stuff.
Yeah. So I think what you're referring to is they're moving everybody from the analytics.js to the GTag analytics script, which is the GA4 script that can run Universal or GA4. Mm-hmm. And I think that's because we're having so much problem with referral spam at this point, that they're really encouraging people to move to the new Google Analytics code. Tim, for your benefit, we've been struggling with GA4 for the last month or two. And our official recommendation at this point is don't upgrade to GA4 yet. Make sure you use the exceptions and use Google Analytics Universal, which is the old version. But if you create a new account with Google Analytics, it's going to try to trick you into GA4. Mm-hmm. You need to resist the temptation and stay in Universal Analytics.
But add the GA4 code.
Yeah, go ahead and collect the data from GA4, but don't
use it for reporting.
I won't go on a side note here, but alas, that's what I would do to troubleshoot this.
Okay.
Because I am suspicious that your code might be missing from a page, or there could be some sort of conflict.
Okay.
If if after a while we can't, and I would go a couple weeks back and look, or a larger time period and compare, and then see, our Google Analytics does say, and I wish I knew where it says it, but it says we don't offer promises that this is really the number of people visiting your website. This is about the number of people visiting your website, right?
Yeah.
So they're estimating. And when you get into really large numbers, you could exceed Google Analytics limit, and they will really give you sample sizes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like I've seen, we are estimating this based on 75% of your website traffic, because the website just gets huge traffic, and they can't really promise you. So there's a certain point where you just got to be like, okay, it's close enough. We're really, one of the things I promote with Google Analytics is we're not really saying 79 visitors, because we don't know if 79 is good or bad, but we do want to compare apples to apples. And so when we compare apples, we could say 79 versus the prior week. Okay, now we're comparing that. 79 from organic versus 79 from Facebook. Okay, these numbers only mean something in comparison to something else, because what is 79 good or bad? I don't know, right? Yeah. But if we compare it, so as long as the comparisons are equally flawed, we still have valuable data, and we're still getting good. But I wouldn't argue, I wouldn't fall on the sword of whether we got 79 or 93.
Okay.
Right. I would just check and rule out potential issues, and hopefully there's some tips on how to rule out some.
Yeah.
And if at the end of the day, you're like, okay, I can't find anything, everything seems to be installed, then I just go.
Okay.
I've just, if it was twice as many, then we start to be like, okay, something says wrong. But
then I would, if it was double it, then I think I had something on there twice. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.